Welcome, guys, back to the I Love Wrestling podcast. We are your hosts, Justin Woolwine and Pops. How we doing, Pops?
I'm doing good, blessed. Really good, really good.
Excited to be back for the Raw live stream. We are on the February 10th episode of Monday Night Raw, and it was a pretty decent show.
Live from Nashville,
Live.
13,000 sell out. It was a good show.
Before we get into the show itself, I just want to say thank everybody for the support. It's been quite the weekend. Had an interesting video come out. I just want to say thank you guys for all the support with that. Sometimes it's tough letting your word be out, but I just want to say I appreciate you guys for all the overwhelming support and excited to see what happens next.
Most definitely thank everybody. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Watch it. Check it out. This is a testimony. I was very proud of it. Very grateful.
I also want to say, just before we dive into Raw and get into the fun of this, the outreach from not only fans, family, but from the wrestlers has been incredible. I just really appreciate you guys. I'm not calling anybody out, but you know who you are. I really appreciate your messages and
A lot of love. Thank you.
a lot of love. I just appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. But let's get into positive things. We actually started off this week's Raw with a friend of the channel. And I'm not talking about Jey Uso. I'm talking about Bruce Hamilton.
Yes.
Bruce, I just want to say shout out. You was in that first segment breaking up Jey Uso and Gunther.
Well, you know, when I seen him, I was like, man, that guy looks familiar. Wait a second. I just watched
Yes.
this episode. And then we seen him at the show.
No. It was
Keep
nice.
drinking the milk.
It was nice to see him. He looks like a star.
Yeah, he does.
One day we'll be seeing Bruce Hamilton main event Monday Night Raw.
I'm sure of it.
But we're going to start off with main event Jey Uso. What you got to say about that entrance?
The crowd is always nuts for Jay, and it's every week.
Mhm.
Okay. And the interaction he has with the children as he's coming out.
Yes.
What I can see them doing here is building a Jey Uso to a hustle, loyalty, and respect level. I can see him being the next John Cena. I can see that being the WWE's answer to John Cena retiring and merch seller and all that. I could just see that be the way they're going, especially with the whole Gunther thing, having trouble beating Gunther. I could just see that being the way they're going.
It might, I don't want to say it's far-fetched, because hustle, loyalty, and respect, John Cena still is one of the top merch sellers, and he don't even show up to Monday Night Raw.
I'm sure.
But main event Jey Uso could be a start.
Yeah, well, I think
I haven't seen anybody close.
So with
in
the
a long
kids,
time.
like every time he comes down, the kids are
All of them.
and he's giving a five and dapping them up. I just see that being.
The merch is everywhere. Every kid's got Yeet
I
sunglasses.
see it
and Yeet
out on the
shirts.
streets everywhere I'm out. I see Yeet shirts and Yeet glasses everywhere. So,
What did you think about the out of nowhere camera angle where they, Jay's on the announce table doing the Yeet, and you just get to see like Gunther out of nowhere grab the leg, take him down. What did you think about that?
I liked it. I liked the whole segment.
It was just different. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting some sort of interaction, maybe between Jay and him in the ring. So get Gunther out of nowhere, out of character, kind of to go off impulse and attack somebody like that. So it was a different side of Gunther, maybe.
I like the way they led into this being the way Jey Uso declares his shot for the Rumble.
I didn't think it'd be so soon, though.
I liked it, though. And our boy Bruce out there during that. So if Jey Uso does become the next John Cena, Bruce Hamilton can say, look, I was standing right there when it all started.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I did like the fight, the scrap, and then eventually they break them apart, and you get Jay saying, you know what, I'm not done with you. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but me and you at WrestleMania. And then we get the big dive on the outside. Jay takes out everybody. It was just
it was a fun way to open the show.
Yeah, it was different because the last couple weeks have been the same thing, the same formula. Have Jay come out, have Jay do the Yeet, him talk for a minute, and then we lead into our next match. But before we get to our first match of the night, Rhea Ripley did a little interview.
Oh yeah.
And pretty much Io Sky pretty much stops her and is like, "Hey, I want a match.
Yeah, she
I
wants
want
a
my
match.
WrestleMania match." I was kind of screwed. Like,
You screwed me.
you screwed me, man. I could definitely see this being where they go. I know later on we get some information about what's going to happen, but I can still see at Mania it being Io versus.
Really?
Yes, maybe not in the singles, maybe in a triple threat, but everybody loves Io Sky.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. I can see that.
Before we get to the first match, actually, there is a video package promoting the War Raiders versus American Made, the Creed brothers.
Look, this makes me feel every time I see the video with the War Raiders and I see them out there, they have a presence about them. They feel like a big deal.
Okay.
I know you might not agree with that, but they feel to me like a big deal when I see them wrestle.
I think they felt like a big deal 10 years ago when they walked into WWE.
Well, I think they might have repackaged them and finally got them going right, and I hope it goes right.
I hope it goes right. I'll leave it at that.
I think it might. I'm looking very positive on this War Raiders run.
Okay. We do get Damage Control up next versus Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, which this is the return of Dakota Kai, who for some reason is frequently injured. It's nice to get her back on TV. She did her thing in this matchup.
Yeah, she did, and
there's a lot of good spots.
There was a lot of good spots. I like the Io Sky's double stomp. I liked it when Raquel was using Liv for the weapon, like using
the code breaker that they hit was nasty. Where Raquel had her up, Liv hit her with the code breaker off the rope. That was nice.
It was a great match. Damage Control come away with the victory, and it made me wonder at this point if this was a sign to things to come later, because Bayley, former Damage Control, is in a match against Lyra Valkyria for the chamber. So it made me wonder, could Damage Control, or maybe they might be wanting to bring back
the whole Damage Control?
The whole Damage Control.
I could see, if I have to predict, I'd see Bayley, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Triple threat. You get your two members of Damage Control versus the unstoppable Rhea Ripley.
I can see that.
Liv Morgan brutally busted open, as we see later after it's all cleaned up. It's a hell of a cut. Liv Morgan got really messed up, but they did mention that she is, her and Raquel are the current number one contenders for the tag titles. Yes. Does this change that contendership now that they've lost to Damage Control?
Or could it be something where Damage Control gets in there with them?
Maybe. I guess we'll have to see. Damage Control, like you said, does win with the moonsault. Io does a beautiful moonsault. They got the win.
Always a beautiful moonsault.
Up next, Michael Cole gives us his lovely medical updates that he loves to give. And this one was on Sami Zayn after the package power driver he received.
Nerve damage.
Extreme nerve damage. And what was it? Spinal compressions on Sami Zayn. I think
those spinal compressions are no joke.
I know you have a couple yourself.
They're no joke.
I like how they build this package power driver. Like, it's the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. Like,
yeah, I like how they're setting it up too.
Once again, another beautiful video package. These black eyes on Kevin Owens were not pretty. Do you think we're getting KO versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where they're going with that. I couldn't see them going too many other ways.
Do we get a stipulation?
I can see it being like a false count anywhere or no holds bars, something like that.
I saw on social media, and I don't know if this is true, so don't quote me on this, that Karrion Kross was trying to get a hold of Sami Zayn. And in the exit of this video, there was a El Generico mask and a telephone.
Oh, so you think maybe
Could we get El Generico in WWE?
Maybe.
What if Sami Zayn retires and we get El Generico return?
I think that could be possible.
Okay. Up next, we have the second women's match of the evening with Bayley and Lyra Valkyria.
You know, that makes me I noticed that there was two women's matches right back to back at the beginning of the show.
Yep.
I don't know if two women have ever opened Raw before.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe segment-wise, never really match-wise. I don't know if we've ever had back-to-back women's matches on a Raw or on a SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't know if we have somebody could maybe check that out and let us know.
Fact check us.
Yeah, let us know on that one.
Bayley, before we get into the match, Roxanne Perez was in the crowd. They are promoting that she's going to be facing Bayley and Julia at NXT Vengeance Day for the NXT Women's title this weekend. And then also Roxanne Perez will be on next week's Raw in an elimination qualifying match. It's really cool to get to see the women of NXT move up the ladder.
I can see her beating Raquel Rodriguez next week too for that chamber,
especially
spot.
After her Iron Woman performance in the Royal Rumble. WWE's hot on her.
Yeah.
So I guess more to see with that, and they're really building her and Bayley. Maybe we could get her versus Bayley singles.
Maybe
at WrestleMania, or even like a stand and deliver the night before WrestleMania.
That'd be kind of cool.
As far as Bayley versus Lyra goes, it wasn't a bad match. It wasn't one that I was too invested in.
There was some combos that Lyra hit out on the floor, the DDT into the fisherman. I like that, and it was a hard-hitting match. They just kind of seemed like it was kind of clunky together.
Maybe the chemistry wasn't there yet. Maybe
or
work
just
on the
maybe an off
process.
night. Maybe just an off night.
It was like by no means the imagination a bad match. I think the pinfall counters over and over and over. Sometimes it works in a match, and this time I didn't think it did.
There's some of the sunset flips into the ropes and,
was rough.
And the buckles. Yeah, they're rough, and I don't really like seeing too many buckle bombs anyway. Just because of Sting and certain things,
Yeah.
I just prefer not to see those as much as possible.
Do you think the right woman won?
That's hard to say because for a second I did think maybe Lyra Valkyria could pull that victory off. I think Bayley was a good choice though to win.
I think this is one of those instances where they did the roll up so much and then Bayley got it with the roll up, so it made her it didn't make Lyra look weak.
No, it didn't. And her being, the champ.
Losing to Bayley isn't going to hurt her.
Right.
Either,
it's not going to hurt her. She just won the championship. So
they said themselves, Bayley's a legend.
Right.
And then she's a legend of the ring right now. A lot of the women on the roster grew up watching Bayley. So it doesn't hurt to lose to Bayley. Confirmed for the Elimination Chamber is Bayley, Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, and Bianca Belair. We got 2 more spots. Interesting to see who's going to be put in those spots.
I think Raquel or Roxanne Perez next week will be Raquel Rodriguez.
And I don't know who's in that last qualifier match. We'll have to wait and see. But do you see this chamber match being for Rhea Ripley's title or for Tiffany Stratton's?
Rhea Ripley's.
You think Charlotte's going after Tiffany?
Yes.
I think it's
I would like to see Charlotte go after Rhea, but I just don't see her.
That's where WWE's going?
I see WWE going the other way.
Fair enough. Up next, we did have a Pentagon video package where he explains that, he doesn't really appreciate this whole
I thought
attack.
the Penta vignette package, whatever you want to call it, was awesome. Good. I thought it was amazing. Penta is he has done a lot since he's been there. And I can see right after that they led into the Punk or the Dunn and Kaiser backstage.
Yep.
And I can see this leading into a 3-way dance.
It's a very intriguing triple threat between Dunn, Kaiser,
and like Penta. We said earlier, Chad Gable was absent during all the Creed stuff earlier.
Yes.
And he said he was going off to find the dark side of Lucha Libre, correct?
Yeah.
I just see it all being tied in together and it becoming a great story.
Okay. Interesting thought process there. I didn't even think of that. Something important, I guess, to point out during the Dunn Kaiser situation is last week before the attack, Pete Dunne came out and Dunne made it very clear, hey, I wasn't trying to help you.
Well, I can see there ended up being a 3-way maybe between Dunn, Kaiser,
Penta,
and then Gable
coming back.
And that setting up a WrestleMania for Gable and Penta. Or I can see a fatal 4-way at Mania for these 4 guys.
Okay. Up next, we have Ivy Nile. She kind of confronts Lyra backstage for who she's hanging out with. Lyra's hanging out with the old Alpha Academy, Otis, Maxine, and Akira Tozawa, and lets them know, hey, I'm coming to get your IC title. The Creeds are about to go win the tag titles. I'm interested to see Ivy Nile versus Lyra Valkyria, two impressive women on that roster.
Yeah, I am too.
I forgot to mention during the Kaiser thing, AJ Styles walks past and gets eye to eye with him. You think we'll get to see Kaiser versus Styles soon, or is it just a tease for later?
I think it's just a tease.
Okay.
I think it was just letting you know it's another little lead in. AJ looks great though.
And the crowd in Nashville, or Smashville as they called it tonight, was hot for AJ Styles.
Yes, definitely.
I think it's good that we get, for insider terms, babyface AJ Styles back.
Well, that was kind of his home turf there was the Nashville area. So TNA days.
Styles, like you said, looks great. He wants to remind the world in that locker room that he is still phenomenal. And who better to kind of come out there and interrupt him than the biggest heel in WWE right now, Dominic Mysterio.
Man, Dominic's got major heat. He can't talk. It's funny, cute to
Do you think
Dominic.
Is it go away heat?
No. It's not Logan Paul heat.
No. It's not Hulk Hogan heat either.
No, it's not Hulk Hogan heat. It's fun. I can see that being a fun part of the show. If you was there live, Dom comes out, you booing. I can see it being a real interactive, fun part of the show.
What do you think of AJ calling Carlito just that guy in the purple skinny jeans, and then Dominic Ray's punk ass son?
I like that. I think AJ did pretty well there on this promo. And
it's interesting because for a while there, a lot of people critiqued AJ Styles' promo abilities, and he did quite obviously he's a legend, so he knows how to talk in the mic. But this was top notch AJ Styles promo work, if you ask me.
Definitely.
After their little interaction, AJ Styles gets the better of both Carlito and Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
Which I'm just excited to see Styles back. I know they was saying this could be like a career-ending injury, so it's good to see Styles back and in full force.
Do you think now that he's back, we can see him in the TNA ring again?
Rumors have been out there that that's something he wants to do.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to see that.
And this next promo was probably my favorite promo, which is kind of rare because I'm not a Seth Rollins guy, but I just like the in the crowd promos. They're just different. They feel more alive. Maybe it's because the crowd's around them. And Rollins pretty much he laid his claims. Hey, I'm coming for the Chamber. I'm coming for Cody. I'm going right through Finn Balor. What'd you think about it?
Well, at first, when he was first out there, I didn't really care for all of it. But once Finn came out and they started hyping the match for next week, the Chamber qualifying match, then I got a different appreciation for it. I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was a good way to hype next week's match out in the crowd live like that. It gave it a different feel.
Do you see Finn Balor beating Seth Rollins and going to the Chamber?
That I can't call that. I just can't. It's too. Would I like to? I would like to, and then maybe see Rollins nowhere to go at Mania, somehow end up getting a match with Reigns. I could see something like that happening, or I could see Reigns in the Chamber and costing Rollins. But in order for that to happen, Balor has to lose, which that could happen too, and we could see an implosion of the Judgment Day come WrestleMania with all the Judgment Day problems that's been happening in the last couple of weeks.
I'd like to see at this point if we could get a Judgment Day match at WrestleMania, it just being Finn versus Dom.
Yeah.
They deserve that spot. Originally, I thought it was going to be Finn versus Damian Priest. They moved Priest to SmackDown. We really didn't get the blow off with them two, which I don't know made much sense, but it's where we're at. But Finn versus Dom at Mania, both men will get to showcase their stuff, and they deserve it. They've been workhorses for Raw for years now. So if anybody should get a spot at Mania, it's Finn and Dominic Mysterio. Up next backstage, we did get confirmed AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio next week on Monday Night Raw, followed up by a face-to-face confrontation between Braun Breaker and AJ Styles.
Yeah, that stare down. I like that. I think they could put on a hell of a match.
What do you think about Braun Breaker in a cowboy hat?
That was a little weird.
Breaker in a cowboy hat is weird.
It was a little weird. Sorry about the yawning.
Um,
It was just a little weird to see Breaker in the cowboy hat, but I don't know. I kind of liked it. Yeehaw.
AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania?
I don't know if they want to wait or push that to Mania. They could.
There's history.
Yeah, I think they could do better with
Styles and Steiner.
Yeah.
It's just TNA, written in TNA history.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Can the young dog teach the old dog new tricks?
Maybe.
Up next, we had American Made. The Creed brothers take on the War Raiders for the World Tag Team titles. It was a good match, solid match.
Yeah, at first, it didn't seem like the crowd was into it, but then as it started picking up pace, they started hitting a little harder hitting forearms. Some of them were real stiff. And then there was a crossbody outside into the LED board on the side of the ring. At that point, the crowd seemed to get with the match, and it picked up a lot. And
the strikes and suplexes from both teams are always impressive.
Yeah, I
think we could have seen more out of the Creeds.
Well, I thought maybe the Creeds might pull the victory off.
Yes.
And then they didn't. It was a DQ and kind of a schmozzy finish.
Walking off with the belts was kind of weird.
Yeah, I think we're going to get like a little battle between them two teams, and that might be interesting.
Up next, we had, Judgment Day backstage. Liv Morgan's all busted up.
Liv's out was crazy. She had a nice little cut right there. You don't normally see them showing that off, and they went the extra mile to show that cut off because it was a hard way, I'm sure.
Finn and Dom face to face, getting in each other's face, blaming each other for mishaps. I think they'll just keep planting seeds, and it's going to sprout sooner than later.
Yeah, me too, definitely.
On the way out of the building was Io Sky and Dakota Kai leaving after their victory, and they get stopped by Rhea Ripley, who informs Io Sky that the night after not the night after the Chamber, but the Raw after the Chamber, she will be in a Women's World Championship match against Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Raw after the Chamber. What do you think?
I think they could be interesting. I like Io Sky. I like Ripley a lot.
Does Ripley lose the belt? No.
Okay. Or maybe she does. And that changes the WrestleMania match.
Okay.
Anytime you think WWE isn't going to pull a trigger on something and going to do something, is normally when they do it.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see on that. Up next, we have CM Punk segment.
Before we get there was a nice little clip in the commercial for the LFG show.
Okay.
And to me, this looks a little more interesting than any of the other
Tough Enough-esque
shows. And even something like with ILW Pod, a lot of those stars are going to be up and coming independent talent that they're bringing in. So maybe if you want to be caught up on who's going to be in the WWE ID or on one of those shows, maybe check out ILW Pod to see these talents before they even get found by WWE.
That's possible. There's been a lot of great talents on here, a lot of great independent guys.
And I can see a lot of them, even like our boy Bruss tonight. He's out there. He's doing his extra work. He's getting reps in. I can see a lot of these people getting in and being the next superstars of the WWE or AEW or TNA or wherever it may be. So just tune into the interviews and support this independent wrestling. It's a big deal.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Up next, Punk comes out, and the crowd was hot for Punk. He's letting them know, hey, I'm going to take out Drew. I'm going to take out Cena. At first, he was throwing shots at Cena, saying, hey, we all had to qualify. He gave Cena his props, so he is the legend.
I don't know. We could end up seeing Punk miss his world title match again this year because of Cena.
I don't see it.
I don't know. You never know. Cena and Punk is a big match at Mania.
I don't see Cena fighting Punk.
Who do you see Cena fight?
Randy Orton, bro.
You think Randy Orton?
I don't think there's any other.
What about AJ Styles?
No, it's not.
It's Orton.
Punk's had. I mean,
Okay.
Look, Cena's had feuds throughout his career. He's had Edge. He's had RVD.
He's had them all.
He's had Batista. He's had Triple H. All these guys, Punk, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, you name it, he's fought them. But who sticks out above all the rest?
Orton.
Randy Orton. He had more matches in WWE with Randy Orton than probably anybody else. So I just don't think it makes. Now, could they go a different route and have Logan Paul fight Cody Rhodes? Maybe. I'd hate to see it. That might piss me clean off. Make for a great reaction video.
What if Logan Paul beat Cody Rhodes?
That'd be
okay.
The Logan Paul Levesque era would be. It'd be tough.
Oh, you know you'll love it.
But CM Punk lets him know, hey, I'm going to go in the chamber. I'm going to win it, just like everybody says. And he wants Cody Rhodes. It's clear Jey Uso's going after Gunther. Now I got my eyes set on you, Cody. Which after the interaction Cody and Punk had a few weeks ago, which we missed because we got on here and recorded before the show was over.
We almost did it again tonight.
I could see it. I could see Punk versus Cody, and I see it making sense. I could see maybe that favor being pulled by Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Maybe even mid-match. Maybe we get a Punk heel turn.
Maybe.
You know, I'm not going to get into fantasy booking. I'll be here all night. But Logan Paul interrupts.
Yeah, and Logan Paul's got that heat Dom has.
Does he have go-away heat?
No. It's just it's fun to hate him.
He's easy to hate.
He's easy to hate. He's a smarmy little prick. It's part of language, sorry.
Logan.
It's the way it comes off. His character comes off as smarmy, and
I think a lot of people honestly would say that's just how they describe Logan Paul.
Yeah.
But if Logan, you want to come on ILW Pod,
I
talk
love
about
Logan.
it.
I like Logan.
We can talk about it.
I think you're doing a great job, Logan Paul. Keep up the good work.
But he does pretty much tell Punk, like, who are you? Like, nobody cares about you. Like, I'm going to the chamber. I'm going to go to WrestleMania. Yada, yada, yada. Punk's lead up to letting him know, hey, you need to not focus on me. You need to focus on Rey Mysterio was really good.
Yeah.
I like how they've done that the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I like
the promo it usually lately hasn't had anything to do with the main event, but they somehow tie it into the main event, which is nice. I like it.
That is nice.
Up next, we get Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio, Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And, I mean, it was your
I don't know. To me, it seemed like just a regular old another Monday Night Raw match that you've seen 1,000 times until
the finishing maneuver of Logan Paul.
Yeah,
the pulverizer.
The pulverizer's kind of
a nasty move.
Yeah, it's kind of sick.
My question is he hitting that on a Roman Reigns?
We'll have to wait and see.
That's my question. Or I don't see him picking Braun Strowman up for no pulverizer.
I don't see him wrestling Braun Strowman though.
But you see what I'm saying? Like,
I don't see him getting knocked out by. I don't see the Golden Goose Logan Paul getting beat up by Braun Strowman.
Okay, my question is, isn't the finishing maneuver supposed to be something you can hit on anybody?
Well, I mean, if you don't have to face anybody,
when you're Logan Paul, you don't face anybody.
You pick your opponent.
You pick your opponent. Hopefully, it's not Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, but he does get the win over the legend Rey Mysterio, which I think we saw coming. Yeah. Unfortunately for Rey Mysterio.
And then we almost left the room to come and record again.
And the New Day.
And Nate starts screaming, "Oh my God!" We run back, and New Day is all over Rey Mysterio.
And they cut it.
Well, I think that's to keep you guessing.
No, man. I mean,
I like it.
If they're going to beat up Rey Mysterio, can we at least see it?
I like it. I think you keep them guessing. It was a great episode. I enjoy it. I really enjoy getting to come over here with my family, watch wrestling, and get on here and talk to the world about it. I appreciate that. Very grateful, blessed. I want to thank God for that. Praise go to God always.
Thank you, guys. As always, I'm Justin Woolwine. This is Pops. We are reviewing Monday Night Raw. Little recap. Jey Uso fighting Gunther. WrestleMania. We get Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez fall short to Damage Control. Bayley moves on. Elimination qualifying match. AJ Styles returns, beats up Dominic. and Carlito, Ascension, the Judgment Day. Sami Zayn injured out indefinitely. Creeds walk away with tag titles even though they did not earn them. Promos from Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and then we end with Logan Paul pulverizing Rey Mysterio. We'll see you next week.
Oh.